3 and point. I missed that.
Yeah, because we've been live for about 5 seconds.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 224 for 17th of May, the 17th of May. 17 May, 2024.
What's that mean? Is that a significant date?
No,
Oh, what is today?
it is today. It's significant because we're here for another episode. Hello, Dave. On my left. Neil on my right.
Hello.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a squeeze song, is it?
Oh, let's not go there.
Who did sing that?
No, let's leave that in the past. No idea.
Sherry Rafferty, surely. No. Steve Miliband? Steve Miliband?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Someone will point it out soon. Or someone will look it up in the internet and find out in 2 seconds.
There's no one watching, apparently, so who knows?
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Welcome to the show. We have got a couple of things here. I'm going to just run past the Fantasy League and go. We forgot to do this last week.
Yes.
Hardly Dan. Yeah, do you want to mention this, Neil?
Well, you can mention it because you already said his name.
Hardly Dan is doing well, he did it before, didn't he? I think the London to Brighton last year, raising money for
British Heart Foundation.
Yeah. So
a charity that I might require in years to come. So, I've donated.
It's an investment, not a donation. Yeah, if you go to our Twitter pages or
Dan's Hardly Dan, everyone's on Hardly Dan's page, aren't they?
Twitter, Discord, you know where to whatever. Yeah, you'll know where to find him.
Twitter, yeah. You know, remember that thing?
Yeah, and he still needs to sort that out. I went to put a dono in, and that was last week, wasn't it? I've let a week slip by.
What, you didn't do it?
No, it didn't take my credit card. I don't know why.
Oh, it's dodgy Canadian money. It's not worth anything.
Yeah. Well, he
may have to put $5 in.
He might have to do. Oh, you beat me to it. He might have to do without that quid I was going to throw his way. Next, we have the meetup. So we are getting together on June the 8th in London town.
I was thinking about this. I was talking to my daughter about this.
Okay.
Thinking you should all come up to MK and we should go Pink's.
What's Pink's?
Pink's is the gay bar in Milton Keynes. It's open till 6 in the morning.
That's still, I mean, I actually have more of a problem with being up that late than it being a gay. I have no problem with it being a gay bar.
But it's the only place around that's open that late. It's pretty cool, apparently. They have all sorts of.
It goes 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not late at that point. It's early.
Yeah, it's early the next day. But
yeah. You had me at 6 in the morning.
They have multiple rooms for boogieing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Depending on
private
your
boogie
preference.
bar.
Is this the club that your daughter went to before? She said she went there. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Very good.
They have, what is she called? The cheese room. I don't think you'd like it there.
No, I don't like cheese. I don't like house. Sort of like, I don't know. Like there would
They have a drum and bass room.
Yeah.
It's not your cup of tea, really, exactly. But,
I'd be more inclined to be going into the drum and bass room, but.
It's the place to be around here.
Nowadays, isn't there?
Mate, I went down the pub last week and I could fucking barely talk the Saturday after. So I had to shout so loud. It was really. Should we talk about that now? Can we talk about this now? This is what I've been doing last week.
Well, actually, hang on. Yeah, put it in there if you want, and then we'll get to it. But we got to talk about this meetup.
Right.
Go on, tell your story.
Well, I went to the pub back at one of my old stomping grounds. One of my old stomping grounds from back in the day. It used to be called the Lytton Tree back in the day. And it used to be like colloquially known as the Litter Tray, because obviously it was a bit shit.
Ho ho!
Yes, we're all fucking comedians around here. And it's now called the Picture House. I don't know if they're trying to be upmarket. But, right, I don't know. When we used to go out when I was like 20 years old, which is probably the last time I went to this fucking joint, maybe a bit old, maybe 10 years. It was probably about 20 years ago.
Okay.
You used to go out all night, didn't you? You used to go out, have a few drinks in the pub, move on to another establishment, maybe that was open a bit later. Then you go to maybe another establishment was open a little bit later than that. But these days, like, we went into the picture house, and it was basically, I was out for a works leaving do. It was basically us, like 10 people or whatever, gradually more throughout the evening. And then, like, there was a little party around the corner who was having an 18th birthday party. Somewhat later on in the evening, a hen party turned up with about 6 people in. And that was basically it. And the place is fucking massive.
And where is this place?
It's in the Buzzard.
Near
And then-
Milton Keynes.
Near Milton Keynes.
I don't know if we should have the party up your way. It doesn't sound like
No,
this.
no,
This,
no,
you're
this
not
is the
taking-
Buzzard. This is the Buzzard. This is not Milton Keynes and Pinks. Pinks is round. Busy. And yeah, until midnight. And then at midnight, all these fucking young weirdos turn up. Like the 20-year-olds. They just all suddenly come out at about midnight. Like,
Yep.
Where the fuck have you all been all night?
That's the new time that people come out at.
Yeah, we were constrained, weren't we, when we were younger?
Were we?
To the hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. If you ever
Yeah.
went to any other country, like I used to come over here to the States or whatever like that, they weren't out at 7 o'clock trying to get pissed as quick as possible, right? You know, we stuffed because of those hours, weren't we?
Well, like I say, there
growing
was
up?
places open till 2 or 3 in the morning. It's just, is that not late enough? When you go out at 7 o'clock, that's definitely late enough.
Yeah, it's changing, though,
fucking
isn't
battered.
it? I mean,
So from what I remember, pubs used to be able to open till 11.
11,
Right?
yeah.
Just normal pubs.
last orders would be at 10:50. 10:50? That's bonkers.
And then
You're allowed
clubs-
drinking up time until 11:30, usually.
Yes.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
and
of
then-
course,
the
because you're
slow
staggering
coaches.
back with 4 pints that you can try and knock back. You know, we didn't
And then-
need places open till 2 because by the time you get through that
Yeah.
last order rush,
And then it was clubs that were open to about 2:30, 3 at the
Two,
latest.
two
There was
generally.
one club that was open till 4.
Yeah, there was 2 o'clock was like standard club closing time, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. But nowadays, pubs can apply for late licenses, and most pubs
Fucking blame
are
that Tim Martin geezer.
clubs. So it was one of the World Cups, I think it was. A lot of the late licenses were allowed because
It was
of the time
probably
differences, and
when
it
we
just
were at
carries
it was
home.
on.
around about, I can tell you exactly when it, well, not exactly when it was, but it was around about 2004, 2005.
Right.
We were at 2005 because I remember the local that I was in when wife and I went there. I
Was
think on a
that
Tuesday
Japan
night.
and South Korea World Cup when it was at a silly clock in the morning?
Maybe, yeah.
It could be, yeah. Yeah, so 2004, 2005, around then. My wife and I went to the pub on a Tuesday night, and we didn't realize that they'd applied for the late license and got it. And we were just like, fucking hammered. It's like, when is this place closing? And then we realized it wasn't.
It
was,
wasn't
like,
closing.
Fantastic, yeah. It was
Yeah.
absolutely mashed on a Tuesday night. That was hilarious.
Tuesday night bender. Brilliant.
But yeah, since then, like most pubs,
No one
and
knows what
most
the
pub-
fuck is going on.
Yeah, they're all open late now. But kids. So when we used to go out, it used to be starting at 6 or 7, get absolutely hammered, try and get in a club for about 10:30. If you're going after 10:30, it's like an extra 5 or 10.
Yeah, it's probably an extra tenner or something to get in
Yeah.
after a certain time, isn't it? Be like, what the fuck, paying that extra tenner?
Yeah, and then like go in and pay double for drinks.
Yeah, right.
You need to
And
be
then-
hammered by the time you get to the club, basically, because otherwise
yeah.
you
Yeah,
can
that's
double
it.
your expense in about an
Yeah.
hour.
Now these days you have to be hammered before you get to the pub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Apparently,
exactly.
because apparently that's the deal. It's like it's too expensive to go drinking these days out. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't feel like
Dude,
it to me.
honestly, if I go out for a meal, I've been out for meals now where half my bill is booze costs from other people.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah, that must really sting as a
yeah,
non-drinker.
It does. If I'm paying.
Yeah.
which
Well,
I
it's
try
not
and
that
get out
often
of
then, I
if
guess.
possible. Nah, never. It's low hanging fruit, isn't it?
But yeah, considering beer, even at the local pub, is like 5.50, £6 a
They
pint.
put all the prices up at our local pub, not the club. Club's
Yeah.
still cheap, but yeah, pubs are $5.50 for a pint. Yeah, and not very good beer generally.
No.
So
Hmm.
it's hard work
Considering-
running a pub these days.
Considering cans are about a quid from the local Tesco.
Quid, bit more than that, mate. God,
No,
that's
not-
like inflation. It's like fucking £1.80 for a
No.
can now.
Oof.
No,
Really?
not on the when you buy like
Depends what
18
you're buying.
in
Depends
a
what you're
can,
buying.
yeah.
You have to get it for the offers. Like my San
Yeah.
Miguel's £10 for 10 cans
Yeah.
because they were on offer.
It's quid a pint.
But it's not a pint though, is it?
Wow, just under. Unless you get the
Definitely,
pint.
it's definitely cheaper than the pub. Put it that way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from pub prices then. Before we get too derailed for too
We
long.
could be here all night.
Yeah, so back to the meetup. So the plan is not to go to the Buzzard for sure.
Definitely not.
'cause
It was a
I don't
right
think we
dump
could-
as well.
I don't think we could handle it.
I couldn't
no,
handle
so-
walking through the town. It was disgusting. I was like, what the hell's happened to the Buzzard?
Oh yeah.
It's like Blackpool without a beach.
Oh, Blackpool without the 2 or 3 good things it has.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, Dave, you went there a couple of years ago, didn't you? I remember.
I did. Yeah.
I went there a few years
Remember
ago
that.
as well.
It was pretty grim.
We're getting sidetracked again. Right, the meetup, Saturday, June the 8th. I think we did this a couple of years ago. We met Liverpool Street Station around about, I can't even remember what time, 11 o'clock or something like
Lunchtime, I'd say.
that? Lunchtime-ish. And then we went to is it an Indian restaurant? I can't
I
remember.
guess you could call it
Tayab's.
that. Tayabs. Is that Tower Hamlets? I feel like it's Tower Hamlets.
Wasn't it Brick Lane? Yeah, Brick Lane.
No, I
can't
don't think
remember.
it was Brick Lane. The
It was
Brick
a
Lane's
walk-
where there's loads of curry places.
It was a short walk from Liverpool Street anyway, wasn't it?
Mm.
Can you remember?
No.
All right, so Saturday, June the 8th, meet up around Liverpool Street Station, midday, go for
Yeah,
lunch.
get the details nearer the time, I would
and
suggest.
then whatever, but
if
it's
you're
not
interested in
difficult.
turning
Just
up.
come along, say hi. Don't feel that it's not a. I mean, obviously there is some drinking going on, but don't be put off by the whatever.
I'll try
If
not to
you-
upset anybody.
I think there's some of the veteran gamers crowd could be coming down too. Chinny
Yeah,
and
they don't
Stew
drink.
and but if you do drink,
Chili and stew, yeah.
so be it.
Duke's not coming.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Anyway, so we're looking forward to that. All are welcome. What else? Oh, lots of football on this weekend, but all at the same time.
This weekend coming.
Is it like all at 4:30 or something?
4 o'clock kickoff Sunday.
Right.
2:30 deadline for your fantasy football teams.
Is it televised for you guys?
We
of it?
have they usually flip between a couple of games, but I think they'll be focusing on the Manchester City and Arsenal games. I think Man
So,
City's
but they will
definitely
have
live.
but they will have coverage though. will
They'll be
they?
flicking around because obviously there's no blackout because it's on a Sunday instead of because obviously between 2:45 and 5:15 or whatever they're not allowed to show a live football match in the UK.
Oh, well, that was it. That's what I was wondering. Was there a blackout on
There's
it
no
for you
blackout
guys?
on a Sunday. That's why they put all
Okay.
the last games on Sunday. They'll dip around. So when Luton are smashing Fulham like 9-0 and Forest are losing 4-0, and they might suddenly switch channels. You never know.
Yep.
That's not happening, obviously.
Stranger things have happened.
Have they? I don't think they.
Not that strange.
Not in the football.
maybe.
Not in the football
no.
world. I mean, you could win
Anyway,
the
the
Italian
reason
Cup
I'm-
and then get sacked, but yeah.
The reason I'm asking is I'm going to set up. I guess I've got every match to choose from, so I'm going to set up a couple of TVs or whatever. Just wondering, like maybe we do a watch party or something.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I'm not. I'll be around. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I may look into that. How that might work. I don't know.
I'm not sure it's strictly legal for you to share
It's
the
completely
actual
not.
visuals. But who cares? Discord don't care.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be watching my feed. Anybody else can be watching their. Only problem is time differences if people are watching their own feeds. I've had that happen to me before. I'm usually about 20 seconds behind or something. It's a nightmare during World Cups. I have to keep my phone off. Anyway, that may happen. Probably not.
Check Discord. Check our Seal podcast.
That's it.
The Seal podcast
We
Discord.
we do say shit on there if it's going to happen. We try to
Yep.
anyway.
Some of us
Don't
do.
hold us to that. Don't hold us to that. All right, Neil, do you want to talk about the footy?
Oh, as we've talked about football, we should probably do that. So we are in. Well, we have had the penultimate week of the season. The game week 37 was. Well, records have been set potentially in this game week, in our league for sure. 16 teams scored 100 or more points.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
The there was a couple that were definitely better than the rest, though. Sure. No. Sorry, something just fell over. So we have my wife, who I was playing in the cup, scored 143 points last week.
Neil got.
I was
done
doing
over
all
by
right,
his
I
missus.
thought, and then I looked at my wife's team and went, "Oh shit." She had fucking everybody that was scoring points. She still had something like Nori, was it, or something, that scored 1 point on a, because you had a bench boost going on. Loads of people had bench boosts going last week.
Yeah, Lou had 21 points off the bench.
Yeah. And,
And
one of
even
them was a
without
1
that,
point.
she smashed
Yeah,
me.
I absolutely battered most people, to be fair. I think she was 13 points clear. Oh, no. No, Luciano, to be fair, was only 5 points behind her on 138, so he absolutely smashed it as well.
Yeah, he did. He is a real threat for next
You were
season.
up against him in the head-to-head, weren't you?
Yeah, fuck it. Who would have
got
thought? I'm
battered.
115 and I still couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Did he? Did he
I had a
take any?
-4, so I got 106 in the end, and I was still fucking sulking. So, I can't remember who I had. Luciano had
113.
he had the double Arsenal defence, didn't he? I think Gabriel and Saliba scored loads of points, and he had
Yeah, and
Gavardi. Anyone who did the shit really well had fucking Josko Gavardiol for Man City, who just like got 2 clean sheets, scored twice in one fucking game. I was like, this is unbelievable. He scored once, and I was like, I don't believe he scored again. This is unbelievable. And then he fucking scored again in the same game.
I know. I was waiting for you to say something else in the
shit!
Discord.
I was like, I can't. I was really fucking raging because that was one of the potential transfers I could have done, but I didn't. Didn't go for that one. Went for another one. Who did okay, but didn't do that well.
Didn't do as good as that though, did he?
No, didn't. No one fucking did as well. That's the second highest score in a game week from any player, I think, all season. It's 20. Cal Palmer, was it? Got 20. Was it? Someone got 29. Oh, it was Mateta, wasn't it? Got 29, and then 27. He got.
Carl
he had 2
Palmer
games.
got 28.
Oh, did he? So yeah, like they're the top 3 for the season so far. I don't think anyone's going to beat that in one game. That'll be insane if someone manages to get more than that in one
for
game.
a defender, that's astonishing.
So Lou captained Palmer and had the other guy.
Yeah, that was loads of points. That was over a third of her points in 2 players, basically.
She's
but yes,
amazing.
Shut up. But yeah, there were some good scores from a lot of people in the league last week. So well done to everyone who is still participating at this stage of the season. We have a final between Christian and my wife Lee for the cup. So that's all down to the last game week between those two who wins the cup. We've still got a load of stuff going on head-to-head, obviously, but basically, Adam's 43 points clear. It's going to be that's a big fucking chunk to do in 1 week. If Angelo wants to take the title, Adam would have to do something very silly, like take a massive minus hit. And Angelo would have to have a brilliant week as well. Still,
and how different are their teams, right? It's
that's what I said to Adam. I was like, you just need to be as close to his team without taking a points hit as possible, and then you basically won the league.
Yeah, I was reading something a couple of days ago where some guy was saying, "Oh, should I do this or should I do this?" And the other guy goes, "It's totally down to what are you doing? Are you chasing or are you holding? Right at this stage, if you're trying to get to a point, then you got to go out. You got to go put your balls to the wall, right, and go for it."
Depends where you are. If you're top of the league, you need to be conservative. You just need to cover moves from other people. But if you're chasing, you've got to do something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends what you're doing.
I'm decided not to chase your wife, though. You'll be pleased to hear.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I'm fucking miles behind anyway.
I'm gonna hold. I want to hold. I'll take fourth all day long.
I've managed to get back in the top 10, so I'm relatively happy because I was fucking miles off the pace for a little while ago. I don't know what's happened with Subu. There's 3 messages that have been deleted by the moderator apparently in Twitch. I don't know what's happened. It's been auto deleted. Subu's been timed out. I don't know what he said.
Really? What is he up to?
I don't know. I don't think it's that strict either, so it must have been really rude. I'll have to look at what details I've got on the auto moderation.
Oh, yeah, my nephew's in there. Luton isn't going to win anything. Luton isn't going to win anything, can't lie.
They might win this game. You never know. Final win of the season, that would be good. But yeah, I can't see us winning like 12-0 or whatever. So
Itza's in the chat. Hello, Itza. But yeah, I can't see anything from Christian.
yeah, I'd need to log into something else, and I can't be doing it right now. So hopefully he'll be back to let us know what he did wrong. There he is. Oh no, Wise Old Elf is here. Hello.
Inzit.
Hinzit, what happened to him?
Where is your leader now?
The fall from grace.
Oh, jeez.
He was smashing it, and then all of a sudden he's down in 8th. I might catch him. You never know. That'll be shocking if I catch him. So yeah.
Are you? Oh yeah. So what have you got? Are you holding? You got to be holding. You're not trying to hold 9th, right?
I'd like to push up to 8th if possible, but you never know.
Oh, then he's going the differential. I like it.
I don't know what I've got really. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest. I've got all tomorrow to think about it. There's no games tomorrow. I can do whatever I like tonight and not think about it until Saturday.
Yeah, I've got to hold. Christian's 12 points behind me. I don't know what to do, whether to go. No
Yeah, he needs to keep an eye. Yeah, he needs to be
holding.
looking over your shoulder rather than ahead at the minute, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Christian's going to be all out to try and do. I don't know if he's got any chips left.
Yeah, your wife is 36 in front of me, so
yeah, that's a bit of a stretch still, isn't it?
Trying to catch that up's pointless. So I gotta just try and hold.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
what's things like down the bottom there, Dave?
Dude,
How's our roving reporter down at the bottom of the well?
It's close at the bottom. Was that like 26?
So you're only
points
99 points behind the next place above you.
Well, yeah, me and
The dead team.
They're fighting for.
My
third
daughter, who
here.
joined somewhat about 3 months after the game started, she's bottom, but
That's
only
dead.
300
It's a
points
dead
behind.
team, isn't it? I guess Dectay's team is a dead team as well.
I have no idea. And my daughter's decided to play a wild card this weekend. I don't know. She's chasing something this weekend. So. Maybe some points, a positive score. At one point last week, she had 8 points, and we were all we're all taking the piss.
Oh.
Yeah, we're so mean.
All right. Okay, so we
head-to-head league.
yeah.
Do you want to do the head-to-head
Sure.
league? I'll quickly flick over because I've worked out how I can do that now. I'm going to have to just switch between windows quickly. Make sure I've got the right one. Yeah, here we go. So head-to-head league, Adam's basically won. He's 73 points. He's, what's that, 7 points clear. With only one game week to go, so he's obviously won. So it's quite close though. Second to, well, maybe 8th. I mean, 8th can't catch second, but 8th can still move up to like 5th or 4th, maybe even 3rd, depending on how things go.
Oh yeah, okay, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, there's potentially a lot of juggling around in the 2nd to 8th places in terms of people who want bragging rights in the head-to-head league. Fraser, you're 3rd. You could take 2nd. Seems unlikely though. You could maybe get level on points. Don't know who you're playing.
I could also go down.
You could also plummet to 8th.
To Christian. Where's the matches?
I'd like to get to above average. I'd like to get a win this last week so I can at least get ahead of the average score in the league, which is currently 9th place in the table on 54 points. So hopefully average loses this week. I don't know who they're playing. And then I can hopefully get at least to match the average. But because of my total, like the average score apparently is 1,951 points for the season, according to this. So if you haven't met that low bar, Dave, you've got some work to do, I'd say, for next season.
Poor old Dave. He's trying. He's going to try harder.
My lack of football interest is showing.
Maybe.
That's fair enough. I think if you said, lack of football knowledge, I don't think that's an excuse in this. But lack of interest is definitely an excuse. And that's a fair excuse too. I actually deleted the...
fair play for fucking participating with no interest in football.
Yeah, of course.
There's a few weeks that I put in a valiant effort and I was getting it there and then it was just like... it just dropped off.
Because one of the things I realize is there's a massive gap between of about 6 or 7 years where I just didn't watch any Premier League. So it's so funny. Like
What
Thiago
on earth
Silva.
were you doing with your life?
Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? So one of the funny things is they've been talking about Thiago Silva retiring from Chelsea, and they're like, he's done so much for the club. I'm like, as far as I'm
Who?
concerned, like he's only played for them for a season, right? I have no history of him before then.
How long has he been there?
But I continued to play fantasy football all the way through there, right? And I didn't play watching any form. It was all based on the stats, right? That's the difference this season is I've had more of an eye on the form.
So is that you don't recommend actually watching the game then? Is that what you're saying?
I've done just as well or just as badly without watching football. You know, you could definitely you could play this just reading the stats, no doubt. I think there's a little bit of I feel like there's a little bit of an advantage. You have more of there's been a couple of correct calls I've made, I think, concerning people being by watching, yeah, you know, and not getting caught out as well sometimes by the yellow triangle of lies that they sometimes put above the players, right? You know, where they go, oh, if, you know, 50%, 75% chance they're going to be out, right? So you automatically, so there are too many times you knee jerk and you go, well, I better not play them, and then they trot out and get 10 points, right? So
Bruno Fernandes in the second game of this week.
Right.
I don't know how many points he got, but he did actually. He played really well in that game, I have to say. But I don't think he was rewarded FPL wise.
No, but the potential was there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Is that enough football?
So it's always more than enough football. Read the blog on the website if you're really interested.
Oh, yeah. Go check. Yeah. Neil does a good rundown of that. Thank you very much for that, Neil.
Sumu hasn't returned to the chat. I don't know what's happening.
He's been banned. Listener stuff. Derek Sines says, howdy Seal podcasters. After listening to last week's show and hearing that Fraser Big Dog Moores was back on board to right the ship, I thought I'd ask you all about a subject. Yeah. Had to come back and sort things out. Daddy's home. I thought I'd ask you all about a subject close to my heart, music. Fraser talked about his latest DJ mixer purchase and how it could make some music sound better. As someone who regularly scours charity shops for musical CD bargains, I wondered if Fraser was still buying CDs himself, as I know Neil and Dave are no longer compact discians.
No.
Yes, answer to that. Yes, I have been buying CDs this year. I think I bought about 10 so far this year.
Are you still on the old buying shit you used to be? You sort of maybe missed out on when you were younger.
No, that's calmed down now. Because I bought so much stuff from the 70s and 80s. This is vinyl, mainly vinyl. I bought so much stuff from the 70s, 80s that I just don't need to buy anymore. I've got so many albums down there I haven't really listened to. I need to sit down and listen to them. But I have been buying a lot of sort of ambient dub, techno, chill out, a lot of chill out stuff, a lot of I don't know, more ambient stuff that's on CD or whatever like that. Yeah, so I'm still buying stuff. I think the last one that's sitting there getting ready to play is Loop Guru. Anyone heard of Loop Guru?
No.
Okay, there you go. That's what I'll be doing.
On the subject of music, I logged into my YouTube music account earlier. Do you know a chap called Joshua Winkleman?
Josh Wink?
Yes. He's released a new track.
Oh, yeah?
It was all right. I haven't heard anything from him in donkey's years, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he can. Some of his stuff. I mean, obviously, he's a classic 303.
What was it called? What was the thing?
Higher state of consciousness, which is he's well known for. I have that record downstairs, and I play it, and honestly, it makes me want to just gouge my ears out with a knitting needle. I can't handle it anymore. And yet, I used to play it as much as possible when I was younger.
I still quite like it.
It's good, but it's hard. It's pretty hard going. No, I mean, yeah. It's good. There's some good versions.
Goes on a bit. It goes on a bit too long, probably.
But some of his stuff is a bit hit and miss.
Yeah, the new one sounds all right there. I was quite impressed. Fucking hell, look at that guy coming back from I don't know, the last 20 years or whatever without doing anything.
Well, these guys are still around. They've still been playing,
producing, and all that hoo-ha.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's interesting. You can see I follow tons of DJs online, and the ones that were sort of famous that we all know from like 20 years ago, you can tell like they're trying to come up with new and different ways to make money, right? I don't think there's that much money in it for a select, except
What, for
apart from
DJing?
except from a part select, a select few from back in the day who are still making good cash. Like Carl Cox is still
Yeah,
raking it in,
you're
right?
talking specifically for DJ,
For DJing,
rather
yeah.
than
And I
just
don't
like
know.
becoming a producer and all that sort of shit. Because that's where the
Yeah,
real fucking
but I
money
mean,
can be.
it can be, right? But you got to hit it big, I would
Yeah.
imagine, right? Just
David
producing
fucking Guetta or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all different. I mean, again, it's probably like footballers. There's so many people doing it, but like there's this sort of 1% at the top who,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
less
absolutely
than
creaming it. Yeah.
0.1%
Is
are
Pete Tong
making
still money? Is he still money? Do you reckon?
I don't.
I'd say he is. I bet he gets
He's
paid
fucking old though, isn't he?
thousands for. Yeah, I know, but
He's
I
older
bet
than
he
me.
just
He's
goes
probably
around-
drawing his pension soon.
I don't know. I saw something like with Oakenfold something the other day, and it was like these guys hurting money. It was just like suddenly doing something bizarre that you never thought they would be
Is he doing
10
fucking
years
soccer
ago,
aid?
right?
a local fake
Well,
DJ.
Your fate. That's pretty bad, isn't it? He's selling all of his old fucking space memorabilia or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. They do
Like
these
the
sort
old
of
war
like
veterans
DJ.
selling their
They
war
do these
medals.
sort of DJ retreats or online classes or things like that.
Learn to
Which I guess,
DJ
fair enough. Yeah,
with
I don't
Pete
know.
Tong.
I guess going to a club and dealing with drunk people until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning gets old pretty
Yeah,
quickly
but
if you're in that
they're
scene.
not really drunk though.
Yeah.
Most people in those clubs, are they?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think there's that many
Inebriated.
drunkers in there.
It's just like
intoxicated.
any people out of their head every night till 4 in the morning. I mean, and you're listening to techno. I mean, at some point, I'm surprised. I don't know. They can't be right in the head. A lot of them, right? I mean,
Do you reckon they wear ear defenders? They're not actually
definitely.
fucking headphones. They're just fucking ear defenders that they wear these days.
100%. They've got a set list. They've already pre-programmed it.
They're just standing there going, and they know the point. It says on the screen, "Wave your arms in the air." So like, woo. Give it an oi every now and again.
They'll have a preset and they'll have a few things where they can customize it and interact. But I bet 99% of these big DJs are it's all pre-programmed.
Maybe
with
they
the
should
light
pay
show
someone else to do it for them and just pretend they're doing it.
Their name is the brand, and
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the DJ world about that right now, where you have sort of like old school DJs like Dave Clark who are super hands-on and are just throwing stuff around all the time, and they're working hard, right? And then you have
I feel like Carl Cox is still doing the work.
Exactly like who Dave is saying, right? They're getting up. It's more a performance rather than a DJ set, right? But at the same time, the controversy that everyone has about it, I think, is completely pointless, right? If people are entertained and they want to go and pay money to see that, so what?
Yeah, people get the knickers in a twist about anything these days.
Oh, they do.
Best way of dealing with it is vote with your money.
Are you thinking of any compact disc purchases, Dave? In your
I thought he was buying vinyl.
Audio file direction.
It's
only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before he suddenly realizes.
I don't know. I like this. I like the early stuff. The Shaman.
It's all on CD, mate.
Yeah, I know it's all on CD.
Oh man, I used to have a Shaman CD. I don't know if I've still got that. I sold so many old CDs.
Yeah, what you should do, but you can do it yourself as an experiment. Like get your album, buy a compact disc player on the cheap, plug that into your same system, check it out.
I used to have a decent CD player, but I don't even know what happened to it. I think I'll give it to my mum and dad.
How is the setup now, Dave?
So the speakers are up. As you saw, I did send some pictures.
We saw.
I basically mounted the fucking massive speakers on the wall.
They're a lot bigger than I thought they were.
Yeah, they are.
They look a lot older than I thought, but is that just the style?
What are they? 733s? Do you say?
737s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look, 85s. So yeah, the big old things.
What year are they
He's
from?
mounted some floor standers on the wall.
1985.
Oh, they're from 1985?
Yeah.
Oh, they do look okay. That's why they look like old speakers. Yeah, they are old speakers. Yeah,
there's some classics.
Sounds
I think
good.
they may have been, what do they call that? Broken in. by now.
Yes,
Yes,
they're definitely
somewhat.
broken. So no, I still haven't got the vinyl player or the amp. Well, preamp. That is
You
still in
did you
conversation
get the
with.
turntable?
Yeah, I
No,
thought that
not
was
yet.
done, wasn't it? You were picking that
It's
up, weren't you?
What are you playing on these speakers? Nothing.
nothing. Well,
Well, just
actually,
for show
through
at the moment.
Bluetooth at the moment. So, um, so yeah. So that it's
What's going
not.
on with the record player?
It honestly, I'll
Did he
get to that
sell it
when
to you?
with what I've been
Did he
doing.
sell it
Oh,
to
okay, we're
somebody
coming to
else?
that. All right.
We're
No,
gonna come
hang
to
on.
that.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves then.
Oh,
Second question from Derek Sines for Fraser, Neil, and Dave. If you didn't have to worry about annoying family, neighbors, or pets, what would be your ideal way of listening to music at home based on technology you currently own?
oh, based on what I own. I didn't read that.
Oh,
Well, I guess my
um,
Sonos system is the way I play it. I just pump that, and that's fucking quite loud when you get it going.
Yeah, Neil's super happy with that, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got now because we were an open plan living in the middle floor of the house. We're in a 3-story house, so I've got my soundbar in front of my TV, and I've got my 2 IKEA Sonos lamps as surround sound speakers in like one part of that room, and then just a bit further down, I've got my old rear surround speakers as a stereo pair in like the dining room. So if I can just play all of them together at the same time and just be like a wall of sound in my entire room. And yeah, they go quite loud. So I have had that on when I'm in the house on my own. I'll be like, fuck it, no one else is around the middle of the day. Fucking bang that shit out.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Middle of the day, I trot down to the basement and just hammer it for about an hour, if I can.
Yeah.
Then I put on some music. I'm here all night, folks.
Yeah, it's a good job you're back.
Dave?
yeah, my best system's still in the living room at the moment on my Denon amp, and well, it's not an amp. It's a
Receiver.
what is it?
Receiver.
Receiver.
Still an amp.
And
AV
my
receiver.
Still got
my
some pretty
Cat
chunky
5
amps in
fingers.
there, usually.
What's
yeah.
what's driving the missions then?
So at the moment it's just a
Or is it that
little,
small little thing
that
that you
little
got?
cheap knockoff thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
You're not getting the best
it's
out of them
not up
just
for
yet,
it.
then.
No.
So
What
there
it-
is a second system going in.
What
There's a
impedance are
proper
these
system going.
speakers?
This is how it begins. People watching this, watching all this
This is
from
how
its
you
birth.
suddenly
This
end
is
up with
this is how-
speakers
this is how-
as
so-
footstools.
And so casually, the second system is going in. It doesn't even raise an eyebrow. I love it.
So it's an 8 ohm impedance on those
So
speakers. So
I
they
can't
do need
remember. I used to
driving
know that. So you need more power for 8 ohms or less power for 8 ohms. I can't remember.
more. The higher the number in impedance
Right.
is the higher the resistance. So you need quite a lot.
Give it some
of a big system.
large.
So the little thing that I've got, I can't remember what it's called. It's not. It's quite good for what it is, but it's not designed for big speakers like that. So
It wasn't meant to drive those. Well, the missions
No.
weren't meant to be driven by that.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry.
The missions weren't meant to be driven by that.
No, it needs a.
They don't even know what
150
Bluetooth
watts
means.
channel.
The missions.
Yeah,
They are
I'm eyeing up.
pre-Bluetooth.
I'm eyeing up power amps now. Every time I go into
pre and a
Facebook.
power amp?
No, I don't need a pre because I've got the mixer. But
Oh, right, I see.
I may get a pre with it. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe someone can correct me.
Well, you need some sort of. I don't really know. Honestly, I've never had a pre and a power separate. What's the fucking point of that?
My mixer has a booth output control, right? So I can control the volume of the booth. So I basically work it so that my living room is technically the booth. So that's how DJs don't go deaf, right? They only work. They have their own booth. They have their own booth volume, right?
Right, but your booth volume's probably louder than an actual DJ's. I see.
No, it's probably not.
Is it not?
I
just got to let the dog out. Hang on a sec. Oh.
Anywho, I don't have a good speaker set up myself, so I find that using my trusty Sony headphones is nearly always the way to go.
Headphones,
Do
you
not
can't really go wrong.
You can't. Never
Well, you
underestimate
can.
a good pair of cans.
You can go wrong with headphones. Let's correct that statement. You can definitely go wrong with headphones, but good headphones usually a good way to listen to stuff. You can hear things that you can't normally hear.
Yeah, I played a good portion of Resident Evil 8 with my headphones on downstairs, and it was fucking amazing. It was really good, really immersive.
I don't like headphones in the fact that I feel so closed in. I'm so the same with VR. I'm completely sort of taken away from the environment that
You don't like it.
I'm in.
You
I
can
don't
get
like
open
it,
ear headphones. You can still people can still
yeah,
come
no,
in
I
and
do
go,
have open ear.
"Boy,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" And you can hear them.
I think if I didn't have a family and stuff, or like anybody else in my house, it'd be brilliant. But
Headphones.
Likewise.
If you didn't have anyone else in your house, you
just
don't
in
need
general.
headphones.
Just in general. All right, Paul W. Thanks for that, Derek, by the way. Very much appreciated. Paul W. says, before the advent of the internet, did you often frequent your local large newsagents and thumb through all the gaming mags? And were you deterred by the plastic bags they started to put on magazines? I often spent a good hour or two unashamedly reading the latest mags in store.
Did you open the plastic envelopes and read them anyway?
I never stooped that low.
You like take your own kettle to steam them open or something.
To be fair, I don't remember plastic on any of the magazines I would read.
No,
they were top shelves only.
Easy up yourself.
I do remember half-inching like the demo discs from the copies of PC Mag.
Wow!
Like, behind the front one. I was like, yoink, I like that.
Absolute criminal behaviour being displayed.
Terrible business.
Yeah, it's like free demo discs.
It wasn't free.
Like, okay.
You had to pay for the magazine.
No, it said free on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only magazine I really used to be interested in was Crash magazine for my Spectrum.
Oh my god!
Which was like Zap 64.
I had Zap. I used definitely a Zap 64 reader of old.
Yeah,
I definitely read. I used to buy ST format and all that sort of crap for a bit when I had my Atari, and possibly PC format when I had a PC back in the day. I don't remember reading them in the shops though. Really, I definitely used to pick up and have a flick through. I never used to like really read.
No.
But,
yeah, it's just Paul who does that despicable thing.
You got to choose which one you're going to take home. I still haven't fully read that copy of Edge that I bought a few months back.
Oh yeah, it's taking you a while, is it?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a bit slow.
Complicated.
I can't do words more than like 15 letters. Edge is for clever people.
Thank you, Paul. I hope that answers your question. I don't know if it does. Mint Safe is here and in the chat. He says, Neil, are you tempted to purchase a racing wheel for GT7? Cheers.
Well, no. It's your answer. Not tempted. Maybe regretting having an Xbox wheel, but
and you can't like bootstrap.
you can. No, I don't know if you can even get. You can buy those. You used to be able to buy like a Chronos or whatever that you'd be able to plug your PlayStation controller in and the steering wheel or whatever for so you could use your Xbox controller on a PlayStation. But a lot of things I think have banned all that. They've fucking messed around with it, so you can't basically use them anymore. But I don't know. Gran Turismo is fine on a controller. It would be better with a wheel for sure, but I haven't got the space really. I could put it
about
on.
that chair.
I've got a nice chair, but it's on wheels. So when you push down on a pedal, and you tend to move your chair backwards if it's on wheels.
What about that? No, do you have that full?
I have a chair, but it's too fucking big.
Yeah, you can get rid of that or what?
My wife keeps saying that as well. So she's like, "Can't you just get rid of this fucking thing?" It's like, well, yeah, but it's like a big dumping ground for everything else that we haven't got space for in the room, isn't it? So it's piled up with bean bags and beds
Bean
duvet.
bags.
Yeah, we've got a couple of bean bags on top of my steering wheelchair, whatever it's called. But yeah, it's just a bit on the big side. I would love to have a room with all of the shit. I have to say, it would be cool to do a bongo, as it were.
Yeah.
But I can't really justify that.
Yeah, you've got to have the space, and then
The
you've got to be
wheels
dedicated.
aren't mega expensive, I think. Well, thing is, if I was to get another wheel, I wouldn't go down the Logitech route again. I'd be looking at like Fanatec or something like that, and that's like you're talking serious money, I guess. Really.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know
Semi-serious
which
money.
side you were going to go, like the really cheap way.
I
or
would
the
definitely
really
know. I
expensive.
wouldn't go very cheap. I'd want something really fucking good.
Yeah.
And that's like.
But you want to make sure you're going to get some life out of it too, right?
Yeah, but I just don't know. I mean, I've put like 100 hours now into Gran Turismo, I think. So, potentially could have got some money's worth out of it, but it's still like, is it £700 worth? Not really sure.
A lot of money,
Yeah. So
just go drive your own car.
yeah, because that's a bit like a Ferrari.
The QQ, of course it is.
The QQ, let alone the QQ, mate, my Fiesta.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, not anymore, obviously, because they've stopped making them. But yeah, it's a shame.
All right. Thank you, Mintsafe, for that. Let's move on to what we've been doing. Neil, you have blank spaces.
Yeah, I basically said what I've done. I went down the pub last week for what even do. That's all I've done in a week.
All right.
Apart from work.
Well, no one wants to hear about that.
No.
I went pinball in it on Tuesday night.
Ooh, how'd you do?
Terrible.
No. Oh dear.
I went with my wife, and we ended up in the same
Did she
group.
beat you?
Yes.
Yes.
Smashed me.
Absolutely awesome.
The pinball gods were not smiling on me. I cannot figure it.
You can't rely on them. They're fictional.
So in the league that we run, right, you get to pick the games you're going to play against your opponents, which is so it makes it fair. Everybody gets to pick. You pick a game that you like. You give yourself an extra chance that you're going to do well. I was playing this one game like before we started the matches called Supersonic. And I was like, I want to play this game. Figure it out. It's an older game, right? And I was racking up. I was like, oh, this is how you rack up the points. Good. And I was racking up like 450 grand, right, on my first ball. The last game I played, I was like 450 grand on the first ball. I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is it, sorted, right? And so we came to choose the games. And I'm like, I'll play Supersonic or whatever. We get up there, fucking just every ball drained. I got like 20 grand. It's like, oh God. So I lost on the game. I didn't even just come second. I lost.
Did everyone laugh at you when you lost in the game?
No, because the other guy, there was another guy, and he picked a game, and he lost on that one too. And
you
Grace
like
picked
loser brothers.
Grace picked her game, and she smashed it. Right, just absolutely.
She just randomly picked any old thing, did she? Or she'd been secretly.
No, she sort of knew what she wanted to play, but
she'd been secretly visiting behind your back, so she's like got really fucking good at pinball without you knowing.
And I picked another game and then just failed hard, and anyway, I came last. So there you go. Yeah. But the plus side is my wife really enjoyed it. So
I bet she did.
So that's good. So there was that, and I also had on here diet because I was just trying to sort of. It was only just an aside, like I'm just trying to eat more fruit and stuff like that. And I've really got into
because I said to you I was eating more fruit last week.
Yeah, probably. But there's other things like I'm just trying to manage probably some of the intakes, protein intakes and stuff like that a little bit better. I feel myself.
Careful, they might take you off the statins if you're too good.
I'm hungry too often, right? Well, maybe you never know. Maybe this is what I needed to do. But yeah, I started eating a lot of bananas at the start of the week. And
apparently, you want to be careful with them. High salt content in bananas.
High salt?
Yeah, potassium.
Salt. I ate 2 bananas, I think, on Sunday or Monday.
Oh,
2 bananas on Tuesday. I know I was really pushing it, wasn't I? But I'm telling you, my body did not like the fact that I was eating bananas every morning. Suddenly, things went really odd. Middle of the week. I must have gone to the bathroom like for plops.
You reckon it was
I
actually...
don't know how many
Do you think it was the bananas,
Wednesday.
or do you think there maybe was something else there?
Mate,
maybe you weren't there very well.
I'm a creature of habit, and like normally I have porridge. I don't eat a lot of fruit. I will admit that. I eat the odd banana or whatever, but my body just after no porridge in
It was
the
like,
morning.
yes, it's time to
two bananas.
evacuate.
It was time to evacuate almost all the time. Things do seem to have calmed down a bit though, so we'll see.
Are you still eating the bananas?
Yes, but I'm back to the porridge. Porridge, and I'm averaging it out now to a bit of porridge and a banana rather than just
Whoa.
bananas.
This is too fucking exciting.
I know, and I bought a plantain too, but I don't know what to do with
Right.
it. I might make some chips.
Well,
Cook it, don't you?
you have to cook it, don't you? It's like a.
Yeah.
Is it like a really big banana, but not very sweet or something?
I think they are quite sweet, but I think they're tougher,
I
starchier.
don't quote me on this, but you grill it. That's a really good way, and then I don't know, rice and a bit of chicken maybe.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
My
So is
God,
it a
my
vegetable
intestines
then?
can't-
Is it
can't
more of
wait
a
for that.
vegetable than a fruit? More of a vegetable then, is it?
Well,
Did you
it's-
hear? I was listening to reminds me of a Giant Bomb episode that I listened to months ago, where apparently it's not a plantain, it's a plantain, like a mountain. You say mountain, like the tin, the TAIN part is tin, like a mountain, rather than a plantain.
plantain. Okay,
Plantain.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, all right.
But I don't know how true that is because someone came up to me in the shop. You know, not that I'm saying anything, but they said, "Do you do plantains?" I was like, "No, we don't." Sorry.
Yeah, I think they're still classed as a fruit. So
I think
Well,
that might be the
technically they
American way
probably
of
are.
saying it, but
What
like
plantains? You
we
like
say plantain. We've always said plantain in the UK.
always
That's how we say it.
always.
Well, that's how everybody that
No
I
one
know.
knew what the fucking one was until about 10 years ago.
No,
Not in this country.
no, that's not true. They've been here a long time.
Don't grow here, do
yes,
They don't
No.
grow here.
probably
No,
not.
we've
Do
had
you
access
know-
to it for a long time.
What baffles me?
Don't know. Right, come on. School with Neil.
Have you ever
what
seen,
baffles
right?
you?
You won't see it. You won't maybe have thought about this because you don't work in a shop. We're one shop in one supermarket, a big supermarket, I grant you that, in one small nation. The amount of fucking bananas that we get in and sell. And I think about that and go, right, there's however many Tesco's in the country. There's however many of those kind of things around the world. Where the fuck do they grow all these fucking bananas? There must be absolutely fucking trillions of the fuckers somewhere. It's insane.
So you know all the other like third world countries that are really struggling for like money and food.
Well, ours come
Look,
right
it's all
from
grown
Costa
from there.
Rica, Cameroon, Ecuador. But was it? I think the number one place for growing bananas was India, and we don't get any bananas from India.
No,
No.
Not in this country.
No.
Not in our country.
I think
yeah,
they
sure.
say that there's a very high high chance or whatever that the. What banana are we eating right now? The Cavendish. I
Cavendish,
think
yeah.
is the,
You know that
the
from
Cavendish
Balatro,
is
don't you?
going. Yes.
That
yes.
is the bananas that we have in Tesco's. I can tell you that.
But they say I think the Cavendish could come under threat from something.
Yeah, because
light
it's
or something like that.
it's a monoculture. There's one
There's
type of
we've
banana.
definitely had a lot of ropey looking bananas. I can tell you that. We've had to throw a lot of bananas in the bin because they've just been like that shit.
You should make banana bread out of them.
No, they're really bad.
All right, let's move on from bananas. Dave, what you got?
Oh, I forgot. What have I got? What I've been doing this week? Car. I bought a new car this week.
Oh yeah?
What?
Yeah. A Ford Focus.
Oh, you've
Nice.
traded up, have you? Did you trade in?
No. Bought.
How many cars you
Second
got in this
car?
house now?
Second car. We've been struggling with one car for a while now.
What did you call me?
And the missus has been like, I really want to do a car of my own. And
Don't you just use the
look-
bike instead?
no, not when we're talking about like going to work or dropping the little one off. Because Bella goes to school and all her mates are across town and stuff, so it's not really practical. And after and if we want to go to the gym at separate times, I can't go on the bike because I come
Well,
out
can't
of the
barely
gym
move
barely.
afterwards.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we've been kind of looking, and it's for Vic. So well, I wasn't sure if it was Vic or not, and I was looking at the different cars, and I was looking at a Puma.
Yeah.
They're
The
old,
kind of
aren't they?
No, they've got new ones now.
no,
Is
new
there a
ones.
new one now? Is there?
Yeah, was
It's
looking
like
at
a
them.
mini SUV, I think I would
Yeah,
suggest.
they're quite tall. And was looking at the Focus.
Oh.
And the Focus is similar to the old Fiesta. It's not that much bigger. Well, it is kind of, but it's similar style and everything. Everything's a bit better inside, but it's got a smaller engine than the
We got an
or
EcoBoost.
well, it's a less powerful end. It's a 125 brake horsepower, whereas the Fiesta I've got is 155. And we went for a test drive, and I was like, oh, I could quite like this. And I put my foot down, and it was like, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
It's like, I'll have the Fiesta, and she can have that.
is it a
She drove it, and
three-cylinder engine job for Focus?
yeah, it's one of the 1 liter.
Yeah. Don't be trying to rag that thing because it'll break.
Well,
Don't put a
I've got the
fucking caravan or
155.
something stupid with it because you'll definitely fucking break the car.
No, I've got the 155 brake horsepower. I haven't got the ST version, but I've got the sort of engine one lower than that in my Fiesta, and it goes proper.
It'll go right with one person in there. No worries.
But yeah,
Fiesta's quite a big car
Focus,
though nowadays. Like if it's a newer shape
they're,
Fiesta.
Yeah,
It is
but
like an old
150
Focus,
cars,
basically.
But
all the small cars are
150,
big.
if you've got
Yeah.
150 brake, you're all right with one person. At least you're going to
Yeah.
feel some acceleration, right? You know?
Yeah. I can get it to wheel spin in third, so you know
Ooh.
it's not.
Well, little cars are fun, aren't they? At the end of the day.
Yeah. So the missus got the big one. I've got the little one. So yeah, brand new. Basically came off the.
You doing a PCP job on it, or?
Yeah, over 4 years or something.
So what?
It's not.
I've never done the PCP thing. It always looks like.
See, we're looking at a new
scam.
car, so we could have a new car discussion, right? So we're trying to figure out.
It always looks like a massive scam. Like you pay X amount per month, and then after 4 years, you can either give the car back or pay us the final money. And like, no one ever pays that final money, do they? They always give the car back.
No.
And then
so
you can just.
That's what you're doing, Dave. So you just.
I am hoping to make the balloon payment at the end. Yeah.
Right. So but like,
because
if you just give the car back, and then you want another car, do you have to pay?
You don't give it back. You trade it in.
Well, yeah, but
there is some value.
But you haven't paid for it.
No, you are still paying off some equity of that vehicle. The vehicle will be valued at the end of the 4 years against what it is, against what you've paid for it, and then they'll give you the money difference to put towards a new car for a deposit of another.
So is this a good way of getting a nice car? Is what I want to know, because I'd like a nice car.
So this is what some people I know do to have
all the time.
A new car every 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's basically leasing, but like they could keep
without the massive
upfront
payment that you have to make on a lease.
But you don't have to worry about like it breaking down.
You do have to worry if you crash it, though. I believe in the first
you do
like
have,
6 months.
Obviously, you've got to have it insured, and
you have to have the gap insurance because
you don't have to have gap insurance.
Yeah, but gap insurance is like the enormous gap between the fucking valuation that the car is supposedly worth and what they would actually pay out if you wrote it off in the first 6 months of crashing it.
Yeah. So
you could be left right in the shit basically if you don't have the gap insurance.
Technically, not really.
Hopefully you don't crash.
Hopefully you don't crash. Again, it's a gamble, isn't it?
Like all insurance. Definitely have to have some of those though, without
there is the other way of financing it is that basically you pay it off at the end.
Hire purchase. Hire purchase.
Yeah.
Is proper.
So it's like by the end of the term, you pay a lot more, but you've got no balloon payment at the end of it, and then the car's yours. There's no additional payment. The thing about the PCP or whatever it's called is when you hand or when they purchase the car back to put a deposit on another car, it's got to be under a certain amount of
Yeah,
mileage.
you
And if
can't
it's
go over your
over,
mileage, otherwise you get absolutely shafted.
yeah, they shaft you for like 6p a mile. So
Which
in
racks up
some,
very quickly if you've massively underestimated your mileage.
yep, exactly. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's for us it worked out.
So there's no
And I
upfront
like
payment, is there?
sports.
You just literally pay X amount per month.
I put a deposit down of
Right, okay.
£1,000. So
Right, okay.
I don't know.
So
You
that's
have
not
to,
like a
but
normal sort of like if you was doing a hire purchase, you'd have to put like a sizable deposit down to start with usually, before and then pay
I
X
don't know.
amount per month.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I had.
Mm.
Obviously, the more you put down to start with, the less you got to pay and
In
all that.
interest.
So yeah. All of it has interest. There are some. I found out after I did this, there are some places that are doing 0% interest on some of these things. So if you
You
are
usually
looking
have to
at,
put a very sizable deposit down on a 0% finance car usually.
if you can afford it,
Yeah.
it'll be a lot cheaper to do it. So, or if you do want to get a 0% one, if you've got to put down some money, there are
Mate,
credit cards that
I
you can
think
get
Quaxel's
0%
after a
interest.
podcast. He's put in some proper joke in the chat.
Oh. But yeah, like there are ways of doing 0%. I looked at getting a 0% credit card, which I can do, but I was thinking, oh, could I pay it off with a 0% and then pay my 0% credit card off before? It didn't quite work out. But there's things about that you can do. Remortgage your house. That's probably a cheaper way of
No,
doing
I ain't
it.
doing that. I nearly fucking paid it off.
Yeah. But if you remortgaged it, got an extra,
Yeah, but
25.
that'd be insane amount. Explain the expensive way of gaining some money.
Not really, no. If you do it for like remortgage it for an additional 4 years with the amount that you want, it's probably going to be less interest than
Probably is versus
what you-
getting a loan or whatever.
Yeah.
Short-term loan, but even so. I've nearly paid the
Hmm.
fucker off. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I'd find it difficult to do that. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out whether we sort of like. I'm really loath to do anything that's going to cost me much. Like I could probably buy a half decent second-hand car,
Right.
or if I want to go to a better car or a new car, I've got to someone's got to finance it, right? And do I want to be stuck in that financing deal? And
Buying
I've
a
never
brand
had
new car at cost, like straight up front, is just insane. It's like immediate
I've never bought
depreciation.
a
It just makes you
brand
like
new
want to
car
fucking
before.
cry.
Yeah, I've never bought a brand new car before. But the last car that I bought, the Fiesta, was an ex demo car that only had like 1,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
So even though it was new to me and technically new, it wasn't
100
new.
people had driven that car. Think how dirty it was.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do, but it's like do you
It
extend
depends
your
who
life?
it's for. If it's for Stan, I'll just get him fucking like, I don't know, a 30-year-old clunker.
It's probably going to crash it anyway.
Yeah.
Especially in your weather conditions over there. Jesus. You must have
Oh,
loads
mate,
of young driver accidents in Canada in the winter. Or they're just not allowed to drive in the winter. It's like, no, you're not allowed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are more used to driving in the winter, so
Well, you've never
honestly,
done it before. You're not used to it, are you?
well, honestly, I tell you that this winter was the first time that I saw weather. Like, if you get snow here, people generally know to drive better, right? You're going to see the thing you see the most is people off to the sides in ditches on the highways, right? Because they're
just
going
slid.
too fast and they've ended up just
Yeah.
basically aquaplaning with snow, right? They're off. There they go.
Not
Or
aquaplaning.
they're too close to people,
In
right?
bulk, yeah.
Which they are all the time anyway, and then they sort of have
So
to swerve.
that's the
towards
problem
them
in
when
this
they go in the
country.
ditch,
People
right?
are just fucking dicks in their cars and drive way too close, way too aggressively all the time. It's just like,
I think once you get off the highways, it's better, but highway driving is the worst. Anyway,
highways is easy because it's all going the same way. It's quite relatively safe.
I find the highway drivers here very aggressive highway drivers compared to Britain.
Well, Britain's just
They drive far more.
When was the last time you drove in Britain? A few years ago, wasn't it? Not that long.
tend to. I think the British tend to obey the rules of the road better than the North Americans. I find
I
the
don't
North
know. I
Americans
haven't
tend.
driven in North America, to be fair, but there's a lot of absolute dicks who, like,
It's the same everywhere, isn't it?
I like to
It's, you know,
drive in towns. Like, I never used to, I have to say, I was a bit of a dick when I was younger. When I used to drive my car, I used to fucking think I was the fucking daddy because I had a car. But, like, I'm in a town, I drive at 30 miles an hour. Or 20-ish. I don't drive at 20, usually in the 20 zones. I'm like, 20 is a bit too fucking slow, isn't it? It's very hard to drive at 20 miles an hour. But, you know, I'm fucking careful in towns. And, like, it feels like some people can't drive at that speed unless they're right up your fucking arse. It's like, do you really need to be driving in my fucking boots? Like, to drive at this speed? It's like, you can drop back fucking 20 yards, can't you? Because if I suddenly slam the brakes on because a little kid fucking runs out in front of me, you're probably going to smash into me. It's like, fucking back off, you dickhead.
shut up, Granddad.
I'm not a bit granddad. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Do you know what? Right. Honestly, what I do is just
drive
progressively go
even
slower and
fucking
slower and
slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck them. I'll do 18.
Yeah.
It's a speed limit. It's not a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fuck
Like-
me.
And I don't give a fuck. I used
Alright.
to. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, because what's going to happen? They're going to go into the back of me, and
Then
whose
they're
fault
going to
is
be
it?
paying
Always
the
it-
fucking insurance costs.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give a fuck. I
I might get a nice new car out of it. You never know.
Oh, me neck.
Oh,
Oh.
me whiplash. Yeah. Yeah,
Weeks
that's why
off
you definitely
work.
don't ever want to tailgate anyone because they
No.
can fuck you up if you
Yeah.
hit them up the back.
Yeah, your next year's insurance is suddenly 4 times higher than it was the previous year. Well done.
I'll tell you what. Even here, I will. If I pull up to lights, I will not pull up close behind anyone anymore because I've heard a lot of people.
What if someone
particularly
fucking shunts you in behind and then you end up hitting them?
No, because what this happened. It happened to a guy I worked with. Some guy, he stopped behind this guy at the lights. The guy put it into reverse and slammed into the back of him. Then came out and went, "You ran into the back of me," and tried to insurance fraud him.
That's outrageous, isn't it?
There are
Yes.
people.
Like I
there
said,
are people.
People are
actively out for
fucking
accidents.
dicks.
Yes. All right. What else you got, Dave?
Speakers. I'll cover the speakers. I'll put them up. I was very proud of myself. 20 kilos they weighed, and I actually
Yeah.
put them on the wall,
Nice.
and they stayed up.
One-handed, like this.
I got. Fucking hell! Screw them! I was like.
Don't you put the brackets in before and then just left the
No, I put
slot
what
the
you do.
speaker on or something?
I basically put them where I wanted them, got the missus to make the marks, then put the brackets on, put the speakers on them, and then got the missus to, because there were no screw, like you didn't screw the actual speakers into the bits, but you had to tighten it. So I
Yeah.
held it there while she got the Allen key.
And she wasn't doing it quick enough for you to like it.
No. Gets on dropping the Allen key. It's like, fucking hell.
These are heavy.
The other way. The other
These are
way.
heavy.
So yeah, that was good fun. But they're up. They're brilliant. They're stable.
Just being powered by
So,
a piece of
yeah.
shit at the minute. That.
I tell you what, they look really good in the room.
Have you
Like,
sorted your
nice.
wires out yet?
No. I do need to get some corner trunking. I'm gonna.
So
put
what are
that
you going to do?
on
Put
the wall.
them into the corners?
So I'm gonna put you get corner trunking, which is basically like a slightly oval or quarter circle of trunking. You stick it to in the corner, and you put the wire in and run it down. Then I'll just run it along the fireplace and everything. And yeah, and then I've got to get a unit where I want my phono turntable and preamp and amp.
I'd quite like a turntable now.
So
I've got one up for sale actually.
Have you? Well, maybe you could bring it with you.
It's in a Hitachi HT40S direct drive.
Hang on, that sounds. Oh, okay. Direct drive sounds a bit more interesting. But Hitachi, that's not a brand I have not. Hitachi, do they still make things? I don't even know. Do they exist anymore?
I don't know. This is probably
like a late
about,
80s.
I haven't heard of a
late
Hitachi
80s.
for fucking donkey's years.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. I got given it alongside the Yamaha turntable I have, which I'm going to sell as well. But I think the Hitachi's all right, especially if you're like a first time. Like if you're going to go to Walmart and buy the piece of shit,
I'm
that
not
they
going to
have
do
on-
that.
right? No.
No.
You know, there's something like this Hitachi is 100 times better.
Richer Sounds have my number. I can tell you that every week, every Thursday, I get an email and I'm like, that looks quite nice.
Yeah.
A £700 turntable, you say?
So basically the and also following on from this is me and the guy that was supposed to be buying this. I can't even remember what I said it was gonna be
Was
now.
Was it a Roxanne?
Project, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Or was it a Riga Planer 3?
Rel? No. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember now.
Rotel? No, wasn't it?
Hang on, I'll find it.
Binatone?
We've just been missing each
Bush?
other. No, hang on.
Wharfdale?
Hang on. Riga
Is it
Planer.
Riga? Yeah,
Yeah,
fancy.
that's what I said.
See, that sounds fancy now.
Yeah, we've just been missing each other. We're like, so yeah, it's still on the cards. You know, he's messaged me a few times and
See, he
can
wants
you
still.
do
It's
this
not like
date?
he's just not.
You're like,
He's
I
not-
am going
he's
to
not-
buy it. We're just gonna...
It's not fobbing me off. It's kind of like we're both like just not available at the right times. So,
Stop going to the gym.
so-
Buy a fucking turntable. There you go, it's done. Just don't go to the gym one Saturday.
So I'll hopefully it'll be this weekend, but then I haven't got anything to put it on, so I don't really want to put it on the floor.
You definitely don't want to do that.
No, but yeah, I'll sort something out. But yeah, should be picking it up this weekend.
Get yourself
But
down
then I need
IKEA.
then I need a preamp as well. So
Do you need a
again, I'll
preamp?
sort something out.
You just need an amp with a phono.
What's it
input.
going into? The missions?
Yeah,
And you just go buy a receiver this weekend off someone that's got a phono input.
yeah.
Pick those up for
Apparently,
cheap.
Hitachi
dime a
is still
dozen,
going
mate.
strong, by the way, and it's currently valued at $86 billion. So there you
What's
go.
that?
There you go.
I don't know
Is
what
my
they're fucking
turntable-
making
my-
these days.
What's my turntable valued at? That's what I'd like to know.
It's
Definitely not the
$86.
$100 I've been asking for because no one's replied.
No.
Wow. I'll give you a tenner.
What else?
I'd give it to you if you were here.
What else? I've stopped drinking beer in the week
Well done.
All
because
week.
all week, because I went to see my personal trainer and they looked at me and went, "Why are you drinking beer? It's a complete waste and a counterintuitive to everything you're trying to do." at the
Because it
gym."
makes me feel good.
I was like,
Because I like
yeah,
it.
you can if you want, but like what you're actually trying to do is like the amount that you drink is it's not gonna yeah.
Oh, because you're trying to get the 6-pack and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So there's like there's like, well, you know, white spirits and
Yeah, here you go. Stop
have some
drinking beer
vodka.
and go into the hard liquor.
Vodka
Yeah,
and
great
sugar-free
advice.
Red Bull.
It's like
That's
like-
just what you want your personal trainer to tell you.
They said if you know, a beer now and again, you know, once a weekend, fine.
Once?
But like
Oh my god, this guy's basically telling you to stop drinking beer full stop.
he didn't say just
How are you still
He said-
talking to this man?
Yeah, I wouldn't be
He's-
fucking going
he
there.
said everything
Neil, you need to go down there and I
No.
think an intervention might
And
be
like, I
needed.
need to speak to this guy and say, "What are you telling my mate not to drink beer?"
and it's kind of I knew it.
No, well, everybody
but-
knows that.
I know.
You don't need to be told it by your
but-
person. Just like, what, you're trying to guilt me into not drinking beer?
It's
Do you want me to
Wow,
fucking
I
keep
never
paying you or
reali-
not?
I never realized I wasn't supposed to drink beer all the time.
You know how you kind of fool yourself into like, I'm fine. It's fine.
So I'll just do a
work
few
it out."
extra reps.
So,
It'll burn it off.
so yeah, it's that, and I need to eat 140 grams of protein a
Ugh.
week.
He's a
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
dick,
trying to
this guy,
increase
isn't
my
he?
protein
I bet he
intake. Look
drives
what I
too
got
close
here,
to
look at
people in
this.
his fucking car.
Yeah, big bag of nuts here. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
my protein intake. That's doing
What'd
things
you
to my
do in
bowels. I haven't
November
even
with
got to that yet.
What'd you do in November with that lot? I take it you're not allowed that.
In November?
Yeah.
No, not November. Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, should we move on to some games? Oh, sorry, Dave. You finished your gym update. Oh,
Well, that's it, really. Just trying to eat as like eggs and meat and like actually trying to have 140 grams of protein in your diet
How
a
much?
week.
What is 140 grams of protein? What does that really mean? How many bananas is
It's
that?
fucking
A lot of
all the
fucking bananas.
Yeah.
You'd probably kill
I don't think
yourself.
bananas have
Do
have
not
probably kill
recommend
your-
eating that many bananas. Death might be preferable at that point.
140 grams a day, I think.
140 grams.
so-
That sounds. If you ate
It's a lot.
an 8-ounce steak, for example, how much protein is in I don't even know what's that in grams. It's like 254 grams raw.
Right.
So is that all protein basically, or like there's a
No,
bit of fat
it's
An
in it?
8-ounce steak has 45 to 50 grams
Really?
of protein.
What's the rest of it then? Water.
Fat.
Fat,
Water.
fiber.
There's no fibre in
Yeah.
steak, surely. It seems like there's very minimal fibre in steak.
No, there will be some fiber.
I don't know, especially if it's grain fed.
So
All right, come
yeah,
on.
so I'm trying to have a sort of a big varied diet, and it's actually
I'm having a varied
eating
diet.
a lot more than I would normally, but I've been gym
Do you
4
feel
or 5
good?
times this week. I feel
Or are you sad and depressed? Sad, depressed. I've not had a beer.
no, no. To be honest, it has actually been harder than I thought it was going to be to not have a drink in a week.
I've
You're
been a
talking
bit
about the
bad this week.
exercise. Like, oh, do you
No,
know?
the
Oh
exercise,
no,
no.
do you feel better for the exercise though? Right, obviously.
Well, now I feel more tired because
Oh,
I'm fucking knackered.
but you feel bad for not
Um,
having beers too.
Nah, I feel fine. I did basically a what's it called? Bent over row. So sort of bending over, pulling up weights to my stomach. I've done 85 kilos this week as my top amount, and I weigh 80. So
You weigh
and I've
80
done
kilos?
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
I've
you
done
were
5
fucking
reps of
slim.
that. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not massive.
I weigh fucking 80 something kilos, and I'm short ass.
Yeah,
I am not
you're
slim.
fat.
So I'm like 6 foot.
You weren't
with,
that
like,
before
some
though,
shoes.
but Dave, come on, that can't be your. That's probably your fighting weight now, isn't it?
I've probably lost 10 kilos in 2
Fucking
months.
hell,
You're
mate.
a big guy.
You're
So,
tall. He's tall.
Yeah. But I used to be chunky, and that's basically why I went.
You
started
never
going to
looked
the gym.
chunky. Not on here.
Oh,
There might have been a little bit of puppy
good
fat
at
on
wearing
there. I don't know.
baggy t-shirts, and so yeah. So no, I'm really happy with what I'm going. So, but obviously I've gone to the personal trainer, and I want to get a proper bod on. Not a dad bod, but a sexy bod.
I've got a granddad
Um,
bod now, I think.
Geriatric bod.
It's not quite that bad.
But no, yeah, I'm happy with where
Rude.
it's going.
Hey, you should see me when I was working hard today.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
good. Dave's now in Neil's crosshairs, not me. That's good.
I've had a lot of like since COVID 4 years, yeah, just over 4 years of sitting at a desk, whereas before I didn't used to do that. And yeah, I just after that amount of time, I
I've done
realised,
quite well.
yeah,
like, to
I'm
get
not as
this
active as I
large
used to be.
with a relatively active job. Is that what you say?
Shall we move on to what we've been playing?
Are you on the beers tonight, Dave? That's what's important.
This is my cheat day.
8th beer.
18th.
I'm only gonna have like this is my second. I might have a third.
Are you going to the gym tomorrow?
Ooh.
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
All right, let's talk about games.
Fuck
Final push,
off.
please. Well, I can tell you, I'll start. We got to go through them quickly. I'll start, shall I? Resident Evil 8. I played more Resident Evil 8. Finished it, as I said last week. Now I've gone back to just finished New Game Plus.
Finished it?
Twice now.
Oh my god.
Well, you get through it quicker when you've got a unlimited grenade launcher.
Now I've got the unlimited ammo Magnum, which will pretty much one-shot most things. So
Are you
yeah, I
doing a
ran through
speed
it
run?
with that.
Are you going to do a speed run now?
And my next run will be higher difficulty and more, and get all the collectibles
1
that I've
hour,
missed.
25 minutes to do a speed run. You reckon you
I
could
won't
do
be
that?
doing that. I just did my run was 5 hours that I just did.
5
I'm at
hours?
40 hours now. I think I'm at.
Yikes. Oh, this is fucking not working.
And I could
What's that?
definitely be quicker. Maybe I should become a speedrunner.
God.
The problem is there's too many points in this game where there's like a cutscene or where there's like.
There's ways to skip them,
Like-
surely.
Yeah, but like
I'm
there's one
surprised
bit.
you don't know how to skip it, if I'm honest.
There's one bit. It's a little bit more storytelling than previous Resident Evils for me. I mean, maybe 7 was a little bit too, but it's like there's one bit where you suddenly wake up and you've no weapons. You're in the middle of like this Arctic thing, right? And you just have to walk to a certain point, right, before it cuts to the next part of your journey. And I was like, well, I can't get past that quickly. To me, it's just an annoyance. It doesn't last that long, but it's a little bit of an annoyance. The one thing I am concerned about going into the next runs, though, is that anybody who's sort of like a medium boss or below, medium boss or grunt, is not going to be an issue. But the next run through, I want to do it one of the harder difficulties, and I'm not sure how tough that's going to be when I come to some of the bosses. So I got to figure it out anyway. It's all good. Very enjoyable.
This is one of the best ones, then, is it?
Yeah, well, it's great. Right, it's great. Is it one of the best? It's not definitely not my favorite. I like it. It's probably
What was it before? You said 5 was your top, was it?
5 and 4 are my
And 2?
favorites.
Or 2 remake?
Revelations 2 is after 5 and 4.
Really?
Yeah. And
What's
then
that with
probably
Barry? What's his face? Is it?
Yeah, with Barry. And then probably 2, the remake of 2.
Remake of 2 was good.
Yeah, really good.
I haven't.
Remake of
I'm
1
not
after that,
a Resident Evil fanboy like you, but 2 was good. 2 remake was really good. I didn't go back and finish this. What's her name? Claire Redfield playthrough, to be honest.
No.
But probably should have.
Yeah, they're really good. But I highly recommend it. It's very good. I'm not going to spend any more time on it because I will probably continue to muck around with it for a bit longer.
Is that all you've been doing?
What?
Playing Resident Evil?
I've been playing Balatro as well.
Mm.
Loads of Balatro and Resident Evil. That's my life right now. I'm desperately trying to get the blue stake done. I've now shifted. I was trying to do everything in order. So the red deck is your first deck, and I was trying to do the red deck all the way through all the stakes. Blue stake just crushed me. I still couldn't get through it. I know I can, but I need to get the right combination of stuff. Plus, I'm still working on my tech. It sounds so pretentious. I'm still working on my techniques, right? But I am, right. I'm figuring out new ways to play. Phoned up my non-doctor, but I'm still trying to. Anyway, so I switched to the checkered deck, and now I'm working.
Which one's
through
the checkered?
Stakes.
That's the
checkered deck is all hearts and all spades.
Right, okay.
Sorry, half hearts, half spades. So you're immediately able to start crafting flushes.
Does it still stitch you up with like all the whatever? What did you say? Diamonds. Like you get a Joker for diamonds. You're like, well, that's fucking useless. Or does it filter those out when you're playing?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't filter those out. And I tell you, so there are some. I'm learning loads about this game, right? I'm now into the starting to get interested in like some of the you can start. I'm starting to read and whatever about probabilities of cards and how they work and stuff that's still considered broken in the game, actually, right? That's not working as it should, needs to be patched. But yeah, things like diamonds, like you see, even if you've got the checkered deck, you can still get the tarot cards, which change things into diamonds, because the game still has to give you that ability, right? So therefore, the jokers will still exist because you may still want to collect them. If that's your intention in that run is to use diamonds, the game needs to let you have the ability to do that. But where it doesn't do is if you have a joker that says get plus 3 malt for every spade you discard, suit changes every round. It won't give you the option of that to be diamonds if you have no diamonds, right? It will still block that off. So I've been using a card like that, or a couple of cards like that recently in some runs. So I'm on the checker deck. I'm trying to get rid of all one suit as quickly as possible. And if you get one of those cards, then you're constantly discarding, right? The suit, and it's always the suit that you're discarding is the suit that it wants. So, but that's just a minor one thing I'm doing. I mean, there's tons of others. Things like this week, really getting to understand the fact that, say you get the Joker that adds +3 malt. What do they call it? Like something like the gluttonous Joker, or what's the one with all the hearts, right? Anyway, so every time you play,
it's been a while since I played, so I can't.
Right. So, but there's the card like what is it? The lusty Joker, right? Lusty Joker, gluttonous Joker, all those ones. They apply the +3 malt to the card, right? So if you have a lusty Joker, so every time you play that card, it immediately puts +3 malt on, which is super important. Like,
does that become +6 the next time you played it?
No, but it just adds +3 to the malt. But that becomes a super, super powerful. That's a very powerful card early game, because you want your base malt up, because the Jokers don't apply until after all that, right? Or other triggers. Whereas if you have a Joker that's got a +12 malt, that applies after any card multipliers or things like that. Anyway, there's just like, there is.
It's like Bodmas for Balatro.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of finessing and a lot of things. There's tons. Every run you'll hear me swear at some point where I realize I've gotten rid of something that I didn't want, or not moved a Joker. Like moving the Jokers now is one thing I'll do a lot. Like if I have the rebate.
From left to right.
If I have a mail-in rebate, which gives me $5 for every discarded 6, right? Well, and I have a blueprint Joker. Well, I'll use the blueprint Joker against the mail-in rebate. So every time I discard a 6, I get 10, right? Because it triggers it twice. And then when I go to play the card, go to play my hand, I'll move the Joker where it's going to have where it has a better effect.
So
right?
you're still moving around between hands and stuff. Oh, drawing hands. Oh, this is next level shit going on.
Yeah, mate. I'm just trying to get to an E number. That's what I won't be happy.
Have you spoken to your cousin since you
not yet?
This game?
No.
He messaged me the other day.
Have you got into the millions yet?
Yes.
He did that ages ago. Millions.
Millions are gone. Yeah, I can't remember the biggest. I think I've got to 1.2 billion. I think it was where the farthest I've got. But to be honest, I've had some runs recently that I think could have gone even further. Like the trick to huge numbers. I mean, if you're going endless, that's what you're probably going to do, unless you're setting yourself some different goals.
You need to get seriously big numbers if you're going endless.
You need to be
very quickly after the.
You need to basically be completely duplicating all your cards into one single card or one single suit, all with steels or glass. All of them with red seals, right? There's massive amounts of card manipulation you need to do to really be pushing the big numbers. But it's really cool.
How far? What's your longest run then?
I'm not sure actually. I can find out.
Can you? But don't start playing Balatro.
I'll just load it up here.
No, this is a bad idea.
And take a look.
Lost Rider.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I guess
you can't be playing this. You have to pay attention to the rest of the podcasts.
Yeah, I can't. Stats. Here we go. Best hand. Oh, my best hand is only 51 million. So I've still got a long way to go, right?
Does it tell you the longest run you've had there?
I can't believe my best hand is only 51 million. I'm sure I've done a higher. Maybe not 51 million. Yeah. But like I say, in all honesty, right now, I'm definitely finishing runs where I'm like, this could go on and be huge, but I'm not doing it because I want to.
You want to do the next.
I want to keep going on to the next stake, so I just can it and then move on to the stake and whatever. And then,
very good.
Blanco in it.
Good value for money that game, eh?
Yes.
If you get
very
into
much
it.
So.
I mean, I had my money's worth, and I haven't played it for fucking weeks. So.
Because it really is. to me, it's just a puzzle game now, right? It's just how do I piece these bits of the puzzle? And get yourself out of the shit a lot of the time too. But there's just this beautiful moment every time I'm doing a run where you can pinpoint it, where suddenly you're like you feel like you're always scrambling, just trying to keep your head above water, and that's okay. And then sometimes you're like shooting and you're like double or triple or whatever like that. But then suddenly something changes a little bit, or a joker craps out or something like that isn't relevant anymore, or things aren't scaling to the way the antes are scaling. If you had to draw graphs, your antes going sort of this almost linear.
Are they linear? Feel like all of their subways sort of like they get a little bit logarithmical at some point.
Maybe they do. Yeah, at some point. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. They are. And as you're doing it, you're really tracing the ability of your hand. How strong is your hand at the point you're playing at? How strong is it? Can you get by? They're like one of the things the Balatra University guy does most of the time in the early rounds. He says, stop concentrating on getting the biggest hand. Just concentrate on getting enough, right? And then that takes some pressure off you to start to finesse your deck a little bit more, right? If you only need 900, then you don't have to be striving to.
You don't need to do it in one hand. Is what saying.
Well, I mean, okay, 900, say 9,000, right? Say you only need 9,000. Well, you shouldn't be busting your balls to try and get a ×3 mult that's going to put you into 54,000. Just calm down. Maybe if you can do the 9,000, then use some of your money to apply it to other things like finessing your deck, which you need to be doing to succeed later on, right?
800,000 that you need in like 7 antes time or whatever.
Exactly, right? Prepare for the future, But then again, like a part of me as well feels like somebody who really knows this game could be listening to me right now and going, he fucking doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
Got a fucking Scooby.
As I'm watching some of these guys on YouTube and what they just crack me up. They're so blasé. Like they just get to the points where I would be shitting myself that I'm not going to make it through. And they just pivot on a dime and go, oh, well, instead of doing this, I'll do this. And
I watched the stream. Before I bought the game, I was watching. It was the developer and I think it was like a sort of streamer who'd been streaming the pre-release versions of the game. And they were playing and they were getting fucking loads of points. And I was just like, I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. It was just like, the guy, because it was going so quick, he was just like, oh, discard this, get that fucking joker, turn this card into or whatever. Just discard all these cards, burn this. They were like getting rid of cards, like completely destroying cards from their deck and all sorts. And I was just like, what is going on? I don't understand.
Yeah. Honestly, Balatra,
here's like 3 million points for a hand. You're like, what?
Oh, yeah. Go check out, if you're interested in the mechanic side, Balatra University is just phenomenal because he takes so much time and he talks through everything that he is thinking about in every hand. I mean, it takes fucking ages to watch him do a run. But if you commit to it, right, and you watch a little bit of the run every night, you come out of those runs, you go, holy shit, I understand why he was doing, because he tells you what his plans are, right?
I do need something to fall asleep to in my midday
nap.
So.
There you go, Dave. He's not wrong.
You could do this. You could watch this while you're at the gym, Dave.
I have been known to put YouTube on and when I'm on the running machine.
On the running machines, do you have YouTube on the actual running machines?
You can do, but I can't be able to sign in as myself, so I just
I wouldn't want
my
to do
phone
that,
up.
to be honest.
And
it's like accept all cookies. I don't fucking think so.
All right, guys, we got to race through some games here. Who's next?
I'll go. I've bought a new game called Foundry. It's early access. It's like Stellaris. No, it's not. It's not like Stellaris. That's the other game I played. It's like Satisfactory and Factorio. It's a factory game, but it's,
oh my god, it really fucking is, isn't
but it's a Foundry.
Yeah, Foundry. It's kind of Minecraft-ish.
Have we not talked? Have you not talked about this before? It feels like
no.
It looks like it's fucking.
I
swear you've
have,
played
actually,
a game that exactly like this.
I've played the demo of it.
Right.
And I liked it. I was quite impressed with it. So I had it on my wish list. It came out recently. I've been playing it. It's still very early access. I've put
a bit more satisfactory than anything. Cause it's like first person 3D.
First person 3D, but it's voxel based. So I think Minecraft.
It looks a bit nicer than Minecraft. You're doing it a bit of a disservice there.
It's like
Why do
Minecraft.
I feel like I've played this?
You may have done it.
Because it
There was a
looks like
demo.
every other game like this.
I think I played the demo of this for 5 seconds.
Yeah, you may have done. It's quite good. It looked
No, it wasn't. Maybe it was Satisfactory. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Satisfactory, but Satisfactory looks better, as far as I'm concerned
yes,
so
it
far.
does. Yeah. I say it's early access. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. I'm still playing it.
Why aren't you just playing Satisfactory though?
$4? Oh my word!
Because this is new and different, and
It's not that
I'm waiting
different.
for 1. I'm waiting for 1.0 with Satisfactory.
You'll be waiting a
I
while.
was going to
feels
try
like.
and finish my yeah, I know, because of all the layoffs. I was going to try and finish my run on Satisfactory, but I just ran out. There's so many rumors about when 1.0 is going to come out. It could be anytime soon, so I'm waiting for that. But Foundry is a very good
So this is
game
1.0,
in its
is
series.
it?
So this is early access. There's still a lot of stuff that's not included.
When is this going to be
I
1.0?
like new and interesting stuff. So fuck it, why not? I don't know. They've got a roadmap of when it's probably like a year or two.
We don't understand, but Dave gets his money's worth out of these things.
Yeah.
I enjoy learning the process. So yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's not very complicated. It's not as complicated as Factorio or Satisfactory. The factory part of it and the sort of not the progression. Yeah, the kind of progression. The way you construct things is very simplistic. But it's quite fun to do. It's quite fun to create your own environment. So yeah, I'm enjoying it immensely.
Fair enough.
Cool.
All right.
Neil?
I was going to say something. It's a bit of an aside. I see Valheim had an update.
Yes.
So
So Sean was playing it.
So are we thinking of dipping back into Valheim?
Nope.
I haven't played it since we finished, but whatever was there before.
I don't know. I could probably not. I mean, wouldn't count on me. That's for sure. I'll be in a Balatro hole over here.
Right. You'll be playing Balatro while you're watching the last day of the Premier League.
Yes, for sure. I'll be Steam linking it.
Oof.
Oh, and then what have you been playing?
Me?
Did you talk about Stellaris, Dave? Are you coming back to that?
No, I'll talk about it a little bit. So I'm continuing to play it. It's I still haven't finished my first game that I started the other week. But everybody hates me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I accidentally
Aww.
murdered all the organic life.
Oh,
yeah. So I've definitely got into a
That's a
hole
pretty
where
bad move, to be fair.
yeah. Well, I didn't want them on my planets, so I purged them. So yeah, everybody hates me. So I've got into a bit of a hole where everybody wants to war against me. So I've kind of backed myself into a corner of a losing.
So, double down, Dave.
streak.
Double down.
So
are you
now I
playing
just have to
online with people, or are you playing against?
No, I'm not.
Because I'm pretty sure Stan is playing with people. I think I heard him the other day. Well, I think it was last night, maybe. Something
Right.
about people were upset with him about something or other. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
There's all sorts of politics going on in those games.
Yeah.
Did he incite a riot?
I know he has he's got factions going on with his friends and betrayals and all this sort of stuff.
It's a game that encourages
Shit lordery.
galactic espionage
shit lordery.
So yeah, it's still very good, but yeah, I need to get better, get good.
I can't get into that sort of thing, man. It just looks like nothing happens all the time.
All right. Good old Stellaris.
Right. Is that it then? You lot?
That's it from me.
Right. Well, I'm playing more Gran Turismo. This is my almost daily consumption of Gran Turismo now. Seem to have sucked Mint Safe back in into the time trials and amongst other things. I've been doing a couple of other things. found a little way to earn some cash in the game. Like they have this thing where.
And a back door, did you?
No, I don't know about backdoor. It's not exactly hidden, but every track that you can select in the game, they have a multiple races that you can, like classes of racing that you can do, worth multiple different types of money depending on what class of racing it is. There's also the little thing called circuit experience. And so it splits up each track into several sectors, maybe 3, sometimes 4, depending on how big the lap is. And you get a time, basically a gold, silver, and bronze time for each sector, and then you have to do the whole lap. If you manage to get gold on all of the sectors and the whole lap, sometimes it's worth like 1 million or over 1 million credits in the game, which is pretty decent. I've done that a couple of times, but yeah, it's still quite tricky. I'm not quite. There's definitely different ways. Like I've tried a couple of different ways to do it. Like if you go in and you do the full lap first of all, because you can choose any sector to do first. But if you just go in and do the full lap and have a couple of goes around the full lap and get maybe a silver, then you go into the sectors and you can really fine tune like the sectors and probably get silver straight away and maybe even a gold just fucking off the bat because you've played the full lap a couple of times. But the thing with the circuit experience is literally like, it's a bit like the licenses. So it's like an instance, like if you do the timed lap, for example, on the circuit experience, you do a lap, it starts you before the lap starts and then you have to do the lap. And as soon as either you fucking go off the track, hit a wall, or you finish the lap, that's it. You can't just go round and round and round and round and round doing the lap.
Right.
It's not a time trial. So then you have to, if you fuck it, you have to start again. Or if you don't get it quick, it's like you could get like I did, 13,000th of a second off a fucking gold time. And go, bollocks, that's quite fucking close. I'll be able to nail that the next time. And then proceed to get absolutely fucking nowhere near it the fucking next 10 times that you try and do it. And then just go, fuck it! And have to do something else. But, yeah, so I've earned a few dollars doing that. And my son occasionally is sitting near me while I'm playing this game. He looks over his shoulder at me playing the game. He thinks he's the fucking dog's bollocks, doesn't he, about everything? Because he's that age, he's 15. He plays video games all the time. He thinks he's the fucking daddy. So he goes, I could do that. He keeps saying, I could do this, I could do that. I was like, right, today I'd had a couple of beers. And I was like, well, there you go. Have the fucking controller, mate. And I gave him the controller. He was fucking useless. He didn't have a clue. So it's not Forza, mate. It's not Forza. It's Gran Turismo. You have to fucking know what you're doing. He was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know how to change gear. I said, you have to press X because he's a Xbox boy. He's pressing square all the time. Instead of like what would have been A, obviously on the Xbox. And so, yeah, he was just fucking awful at it. He just kept crashing. I gave him quite a hard car, to be fair. It's the Super Formula car. He was just all over the place. If you fucking accelerate too much in that car, it's just fucking like, nope. If you're on a bend and you accelerate too fast, you're like, it's saying, absolutely no, mate. You're going straight into the wall. So
what was he blaming it on? He must have blamed it on something.
I can't remember. I can't remember. It's like, you haven't told me how to play. I was like, yeah. It's like, it tells you down the bottom there what gear you need to be in. And when it's flashing blue, that means you needs to change up a gear. And he was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. No, you're not looking. Like I say, a lot harder than Forza. There's very little. Well, I have all the assists turned off basically. Anyway, I think as far as I know, like traction control set to 0 and all that sort of stuff when I'm playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty hardcore compared to Forza for sure. So that made me smile.
Bonus.
Yeah. But I had a go and I was a bit too drunk already to fucking have a go earlier. So keep getting me tickets, my roulette tickets. I had a nice couple of wins on the roulette tickets lately. I
I know you had a moan about it last week.
It's well annoying when you're like, yes, 5-star roulette ticket, lovely, and it gives you 10,000 credits, and you're like, yeah, that's a right kick in the plums compared to what I thought I was going to get. But then I had a 3-star roulette ticket, gave me a nice car. I was like, oh, that's cool, that's better.
Right.
So, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Except it's more, well, it's not really, what's the shittest thing? A swing or a roundabout? I don't know. Huh? So again, you cut out then. I didn't hear what you said.
Snakes and ladders.
Yeah. So, yeah, still playing loads of that. I got a bronze reward on the time trial with the crap electric car last week. So this week, new time trial is Brands Hatch Grand Prix in a Nissan Silvia, which may be called something else in other countries. I don't know. That's the Japanese name, I think.
Is that the kidney-looking?
No, I wouldn't say it was a kiddie. Oh, track. Yeah. No, that's the Indy circuit, the kidney one. GP circuit's got more to it.
Okay.
GP circuit's good. Brands Hatch is a good circuit. And it's another track that I sort of know, but not mega. But I managed to get silver fairly quick, so I'm hoping. I've still not quite got gold on the old Laguna Seca, which is quite annoying. I'm fucking is it about 6/10 of a second off getting gold? And I'm like, that last 6/10 of a second is quite hard. I know I can do it, but it's like nailing it all in one lap is quite hard for me, at least. But yeah, Baron in the chat says, any chance that GT comes to PC? I think maybe the next one maybe comes to PC. I don't know. I'd like to see Gran Turismo 7 on PC. It'd be huge, I think, on PC.
Yeah.
They'd sell fucking millions, I think. Like I say, it's not... There's definitely... It runs fine, and it looks great. But there's definitely things you notice. It's not popping exactly, but you can see the detail improve as it comes towards you and stuff like that. Which, if you had almost unlimited power, if you like, of the PC, like they could basically go, make it as good as it could possibly be. It would look fucking amazing, I think, on PC.
Yeah.
On the really good PC. So, yeah, we'll see. I'd like to see it, but I probably wouldn't buy it on PC anyway, because I'm like, nah, I've got the two invested in the PlayStation version now. I can't be fucking starting all over from scratch. Although you never know, they might make you want to sign in on your PlayStation network, and maybe maybe the progress will transfer over.
Very topical, yeah.
So then maybe that wouldn't be such a bad deal. It's probably a bit cheaper on PC as well. But yes, anyway.
All right.
That's Gran Turismo. That's Gran Turismo. Anyway, bit more Fallout 4. See my t-shirts? See that?
Yes, I did notice some.
Got my Fallout t-shirt on today.
Very snazzy.
Did
you watch any more of the series?
I haven't, no. I've just been too busy playing fucking games and watching football largely this week again. So I've made a bit of progress, but no progress, if you like, in Fallout 4. It's like I'm supposed to be finding my son, who was kidnapped from while I was cryogenically frozen and awakened. It was my son was with my husband in another cryo chamber and was kidnapped. Yes, that was the start of the story.
Literally the beginning.
Yeah. And so instead of looking for my son, I've been running around. Oh, where is it? I can't even remember. Some fucking city, inverted commas, as the Silver Shroud. Fucking stupid superhero that some guy was obsessed with, and you go and it's like a...
Oh God, I remember that.
I can just barely remember that. It rings a bell, but I can't remember much about it.
You get whenever you have to. Basically, you go into this place and you find they were filming this TV show. Basically, is the story, and it was called the Silver Shroud, and it was like a sort of like a Batman type of figure, I guess, but a lot less cool. And so you go and find the costume, and you can bring it back to the guy who wants it, because this is what you do in these games. Obviously, is fucking stupid
Fetch
fucking quests.
Yeah.
For a minute, I looked at the video. I was like, "Fuck me, this looks like Starfield," but it's not. It's definitely Fallout. And so yeah, he wants you to go and find the costume, and you find all the shit, and you bring it back. And he's like, "Oh, someone should really be the Silver Shroud, blah blah blah." So it's like, "Do you want to do it?" I was like, "Well, fuck it, okay. I guess I'm saying yes to this stupid fucking thing." So then you have to go and kill people in this place, because they're
That's
bad
one of my
people.
One of my favorite things that I remember from Fallout 4 was, I'm pretty sure it was 4, maybe 3, but I mean, it's generally that sort of thing where someone would say, "I need you to go get this," and then you get to where it is, and you're like, "Shit, I've got to go in there." And you know, there's nothing great in there that's going to be fun, right? It's just going to be fucking people just. That was always the most fun I had. It was like going into dungeons, right? It was, but I liked it in Fallout 4. You go into like industrial complex or something, and
Yeah. And you just clear out a fucking zone with fucking bad guys, and there's some story bullshit that happens along the side. It's just usually either humorous or serious or whatever. It's like, it's got a bit of everything in it. I don't know what this video is. It's got weird highlights. Like everything's. It must have some mod that shows everything that's fucking collectible.
Oh, is that
Anyway,
the green and the pink?
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't get that in my game, unless it's some fucking stimulant, some bullshit that you've taken. But yeah, so instead of going to find my son, I'm doing anything but going to find my son generally, and like managing some fucking settlement, or just carrying way too much crap all the time. I've met Nick Valentine, done a little part of that's part of the main story, like as part of finding your son. So that's about where I am. I've done like the sort of first part of that. I've killed Kellogg. He was the baddie.
Don't remember.
He was a bad guy who, and then you have to like. The next thing you do is like you have a piece of his brain. You like go into his memories. It's fucking some crazy shit that happens in this game, has to be said. So none of this cool stuff happened in Starfield, as far as I remember. So it's like,
oh man, no, it's good to hear you talk
happened?
about it. It reminds me how much fun I had with this game. It was just so good.
Yeah, it's pretty mental.
Did I download it? I might have downloaded it since.
So they had a few more updates, so I don't know if they've sorted out on what I haven't sorted out, but it's definitely had a couple of updates recently. Apart from the big next gen update that fucked a load of stuff up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Well, I last played this December 21st, 2015.
Holy shit! I didn't realise it was that old.
A while ago.
That was when I last played it. I played it for 40
Is this on Steam?
hours. Steam?
Oh, I reckon I've done to about 30 odd hours now. So yeah.
Yeah, it came out November 2015.
That's mental. Yeah, now it's actually all right. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think I've quite hit level 20 yet. So
what are you playing it on? PS5?
PS5, yeah. I mean, I could play it on PC, but I'm not starting again. Like I said, we'll see. So that's Fallout 4, and then I've done a little bit more Animal Well in this last week, which is pretty cool actually. I've turned off the scan lines, which is the sort of gaps between it, horizontal lines that makes it look proper old school. So it looks a bit more like a proper game. Still pixely, but yeah, it's quite nice looking. The video I'm about to show is not. It still has the scan lines on, but it's So it's Metroidvania. I don't know really what to say. It's like it's very weird. You
I'm
can
not
die quite
sure.
easily.
I had, there was a lot of murmuring about this a week ago, and then the hype went up and it went down very quickly. Like I have not heard anyone mention it in the last few days.
I don't know how
So
long it is.
and you don't seem to have much enthusiasm in your voice. So
I've not
so I
played loads
wonder,
of it. I've not played loads of it. So
is this game hitting the mark or is it
it's
missing the
cool.
mark?
It's very cool. Like there's a lot of puzzles in it. Like you get sort of like a roadblock. There's some very basic puzzles that you have to solve. Like there'll be a door that's shut that's blocking your progress, and there'll be like a platform that you need to stand on, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 platforms that you need to stand on to unlock that door. But I've now started to unlock a few more of the sort of Metroidvania abilities. Like I've now got like the first thing you kind of pick up as a weapon, in inverted commas, is the firecracker. So there'll be there's a lot of animals in the level, and you don't know sometimes they're hostile towards you, and sometimes they're not. There was like a rabbit-looking thing that come wandering towards me, and it wasn't actually hostile. I could just stand right next to it, and it didn't attack me. And then there was like a dog that just went fucking apeshit and ate me straight away. So it's just like if you chuck the firecracker at some of these animals, like the hostile ones, they just basically either get blinded or whatever, so you can run past them quickly, or some of them completely disappear. And then I picked up the bubble wand, which you literally like shoot a bubble out, and you can jump on top of the bubble and then jump higher to like reach platforms that you couldn't previously reach and stuff like that. So that's another way. And then I've just unlocked a slinky. So you stand on the side of a platform and you chuck the slinky off, and it'll go dunk, 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 down like steps or whatever. And then if it gets to a horizontal platform, it stops. But it might be that it can go through like platforms that you can't go down. So you can chuck it over this like a platform that you can't reach down, and there'll be like a little platform thing that you need to stand on, or get something to stand on to open a door or whatever. And sometimes there'll be one where you chuck the slinky and you'll have to run across and like stand on another one, and both of them will be activated at the same time to unlock the door or whatever. So there's loads of cool little puzzles, and you're like, so I am enjoying this, but I am very early still. But yeah,
I tell you, here's so I'm on another website, and on another Discord channel, right? These guys are hard. A lot of these guys in this other Discord are pretty hardcore gamers. Only one person is in the Animal Well site, and he says, overall, I really liked it, and I'll continue to play, as I have a couple of recent power-ups that I haven't explored the world with yet. But currently, I'm not quite in the camp with a lot of folks out there praising the game in very high regard. So something seems to be missing from everyone's. I don't know what it is.
I don't. Well, like it's very difficult to say until I get a bit further in. I mean, it definitely gets hard. There's definitely some bits that are really fucking hard. But like I say, I really so far I like this like puzzle aspect to it. I'm like they're very varied, completely varied. Like these puzzles, like it's like completely different. Like sometimes, like I say, you'll be like a lot of them are just like you have to stand on these platforms to unlock a door. But there's other like there was one that was just on screen briefly where I was just like, I stood there, I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. You run along and it says like the little prompt will come up like do this, and you're like, okay, so you stand there and you do it, and you're like, I don't really know what that's doing, and then like you connect the dots as it were, and you're like, oh right, okay, there's obviously this other thing I need to do in the same place. So yeah, the puzzle stuff so far has been very cool. Like that's not really like the Metroidvanias are usually around like combat and like unlocking abilities for traversal basically, and you are unlocking traversal abilities, but there's also these puzzles that you need to solve to like progress, which I'm enjoying so far. But it's still
I think I'm
super
getting a little
early.
bit. I think you could sell it on me still, right? I don't know whether the way to go is to just get it on
You could pay
PS Plus or whatever.
Oh, I don't think it's a very expensive game. You could. I don't. Is it on Steam? You could probably buy it on Steam for like fucking £12, and then if you don't like it, refund it, and then buy some Hunt DLC in a couple of months.
This is true. This is true. I did
But-
refund a game today. I forgot to talk about.
It wasn't Koi
But,
Farm, was it?
No, Koi Farm was only a couple of bucks. So I didn't refund that. It was the never-ending cylinder.
No, I've never heard of it.
Basically, you're in a world and there's a massive cylinder that's rolling towards you, and you have to like do shit in the world before the cylinder comes and crushes you. A lot of people were saying it was all right. I didn't get on with it, so that's all you need to know.
But yeah, Animal Well is good so far. It's just, it really is gameplay first and graphics last kind of thing. The graphics are cool, but you know, it does. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do it back in the day, probably. There's a lot of lighting stuff going on, but
Yeah, it looks neat.
it's like the main character's real. It's just like a circle, basically. It's slightly emotive, but yeah, it's pretty basic. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right.
More to come.
Anything else?
Nah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, look, let's get out of here then.
All right,
Sometimes these things must come to an end.
yeah. Sad, really, but think about it.
Yeah.
Try not to.
All right. Well, Dave, do you want to do your bit?
I'll do my bit. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions and get involved, please contact us either via email at sealpodcast@gmail.com, message us on our website, sealpodcast.com, join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on YouTube, X, at Seal Podcast. And we have YouTube and Twitch channels, Seal Podcast, which we upload and stream to. Neil, do you want to do a shout out for Twitch?
Baron, Vodglower, Quaxel, Wise Old Elf, Itza, and Mad Muffin in the chat tonight. Thank you for joining us. It's always
Awesome.
good to have
Thank
a
you,
few
guys.
peeps.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you to everyone who wrote in, sent us a message, tuned in, listened. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Neil and Dave, thanks so much. As usual, it's been fun, as it is most of the time.
Most of the time.
All right. Let's get out of here. Have a good weekend, everyone.
All right, we'll see
Cheers,
you next
guys.
week.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.